Hi dear aspirants, welcome to Wisdom IAS Academy. This is K. Hidayatullah, Faculty of Science and Technology and General Science. In this class, I would like to discuss briefly about the introduction of biology. So this biology plays very important role in most of the competitive examinations, including UPSC, SSC, RRB, and other public service commission examinations. Let us see what is biology. Biology means the study of life or the study of living beings. The term biology is derived from Greek. In Greek, bios means life, logos means study. The study of life or the study of living beings is called as a biology. So this biology deals with the structural organization of the organisms, metabolism of the organisms. Metabolism means the life activities of the organisms and how these organisms can acclimatize to the changes in the environment and how these organisms can adjust to the changes in the environment. All these can be studied under this biology part. And the term biology was introduced by Lamarck and Treviranus. In exam point of view, you have to remember the word biology is derived from Greek. And the word biology was introduced by Lamarck and Treviranus. These 2 points you have to remember. Now this biology is broadly divided into 2 main branches. They are botany and zoology. So what is meant by botany? Here the study of plants. The study of plants is called botany. And what is zoology? The study of animals. The study of animals is called zoology. So the organisms are broadly divided into 2 main categories. They are plants and animals. Let us have a brief difference between the plant and animals. We already know about this difference. We already studied about these plants and animals in our lower standards. So let us see what is the difference between a plant and animal. The basic differences between a plant and an animal. So plants are autotrophs. Plants are autotrophs. Autotrophs means they can prepare their food material by photosynthesis process. These are the self-feeders. Auto means self. Trophic means feeding. So these are the self-feeders. They can prepare their own food material by a process called photosynthesis. They utilizes the solar energy. They use carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water from the soil. So they prepare their food material by this photosynthesis process. That's why they are called as autotrophs. So they are preparing the food material for other organisms also. They are also considered as producers. They are producing the food material. Whereas the animals are heterotrophs. Hetero means others. Trophic, feeding. They feed on others. They can't prepare their food material. So that's why the animals are heterotrophs. And the plants are immovable. Plants are immovable. Means the plants are sedentary. They attach us to the substratum. They can't move from one place to other place. So the plants are immovable. Whereas the animals are movable. Animals are movable. In animals, the skeletal system is developed. The nervous system is well developed. So the musculoskeletal system, with the help of this musculoskeletal system, the animals can move from one place to other place. So the animals are movable. If you observe the structural organization of plants and animals, plants have a cell organelle called chloroplast. This chloroplast is absent in animals. With the help of this chloroplast only, the plants can prepare their food material. So another one is the plants have cell wall. The plant cell is surrounded by a tough cell wall. The cell wall is present in the plants, but the animals doesn't have a cell wall. So these are the basic differences between a plant and a animal. Plant and animal. Here, the organisms are broadly divided into two categories. They are plants and animals. Plants are autotrophs, whereas animals are heterotrophs. Plants can prepare their food material by photosynthesis process, whereas the animals cannot prepare their food material. Plants are immovable. They are sedentary. They attach to the substratum. They can't move from one place to other place, whereas the animals are movable. Plants have a cell organelle called chloroplast. With the help of this chloroplast only, they can prepare their food material. But animals doesn't have the chloroplast. Cell wall is present in the plants, but it is absent in the animals. Here, the study of plants is called as botany, and the study of animals is called as zoology. Apart from these plants and animals, the other categories of organisms are also there, which are not visible to our naked eye. And these are called as microorganisms. Microorganisms. The study of these microorganisms is called as microbiology. The study of microorganisms is called microbiology. Examples of these microorganisms are bacteria, virus, protozoa. So these are the examples of microorganisms. So these microorganisms cannot be visible to our naked eye. They can be observed with the help of microscope only. So they are called microorganisms. The study of these microorganisms is called microbiology. Examples of these microorganisms are bacteria, virus, and protozoa. The study of bacteria is called bacteriology. The study of bacteria is called bacteriology, and the study of viruses is called virology, and the study of protozoa is called protozoology. Protozoology. Just I'll revise once. The study of living beings is called as biology. Biology is broadly divided into two branches. They are botany and zoology. The study of plants is called botany, and the study of animals is called as zoology. Apart from these plants and animals, the other categories of organisms which are not visible to our naked eye, they are called microorganisms, which can be observed with the help of microscope only. And the study of these microorganisms is called microbiology. Examples of these microorganisms are bacteria, virus, and protozoa. The study of bacteria is called bacteriology. The study of viruses is called as virology. The study of protozoan is called as protozoology. Protozoology. Here, Aristotle, the scientist called Aristotle. This Aristotle was honored as father of biology. Aristotle was honored as father of biology, and is also honored as father of zoology. Father of zoology. You have to remember, Aristotle is honored as father of biology and father of zoology. This Aristotle published a book called as Historia Animalium. You have to remember this one. This factual information you have to remember. So father of biology is Aristotle. Father of zoology, Aristotle. The book published by Aristotle is Historia Animalium. Historia Animalium. So another scientist called Theophrastus. This Theophrastus is honored as father of botany. Father of botany. He wrote a book called Historia Plantarum. Historia Plantarum. In this Historia Plantarum, he described about the external and internal characteristic features of nearly 500 plants. So, father of botany is Theophrastus. The book written by Theophrastus is Historia Plantarum. In his book, he explained about the external and internal characteristic features of nearly 500 plants. You have to remember here. So, father of biology, Aristotle. Father of zoology, Aristotle. The book written by Aristotle is Historia Animalium. And father of botany, Theophrastus. The book written by Theophrastus is Historia Plantarum. Historia Plantarum. Another one, here you have to remember, during 4000 BC, Egyptians and Assyrians recorded the information pertaining to the crop plants and fruit trees in the form of pictures. And these pictures we called as hieroglyphics. You have to remember this one, hieroglyphics. During 4000 BC, Egyptians and Assyrians gathered the information pertaining to the crop plants and fruit trees in the form of pictures. And these pictures we called as hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. And then Atharvana Veda, written during 2000 BC, contains the information regarding the medicinal plants and their uses. So, you remember, Atharvana Veda, written during 2000 BC, contains the information related to the medicinal plants. Then Krishi Parasram, these are all the factual information you have to remember. Krishi Parasram, it was written by Parasara. It deals with the agricultural activities and weeds. So, just to remember, Krishi Parasaram was written by Parasara. It deals with the agriculture and weeds. Riksha-Vedam, another book called Riksha-Vedam, it was also written by Parasara. It contains the information of 14 different types of forest and external internal characteristic features of plants. Then Hippocrates was honored as father of medicine. Hippocrates, an ancient Greek physician, was the first to write about certain human diseases. So he was honored as father of medicine. These are all the factual information related to biology. So during 4000 BC, Egyptians and Assyrians recorded the information pertaining to the crop plants and fruit trees in the form of pictures. And these pictures we call as hieroglyphics. Atharvana Veda deals with medicinal plants. Krishi Parasaram was written by Parasara. It deals with agriculture and weeds. And also Riksha Veda, it was also authored by Parasara. It contains the information of nearly 14 different categories of forests, external internal characteristic features of plants. An ancient Greek physician, Hippocrates, was the first person to write about the human diseases. So he was honored as the father of medicine. And then there are various categories of living beings like plants, animals, microorganisms, and some other categories of organisms. And all these organisms are categorized based on their closely related characteristic features. This categorization of the organisms is called as a classification. Here, there is a branch of science which deals with the study of identification, nomenclature, and classification of the organisms is called as a taxonomy. So, what is taxonomy? Taxonomy deals with the identification of the organism. First, you have to identify whether it is a living being or a non-living thing. Then, nomenclature. Nomenclature means simply it is naming. So, after identification, the living being has to name according to the scientific methods. This is called as a nomenclature. And classification. Classification means categorization of the organism based on its characteristic features. So, this branch of science which deals with the identification, nomenclature, and classification of the organisms, it is called as a taxonomy. Here there is a scientist called Carolus Linnaeus. You have to remember this one. Carolus Linnaeus, he is honored as father of taxonomy. Carolus Linnaeus is honored as father of taxonomy. He published the books called Systema Naturae and Species Plantarum. You have to remember. So what is taxonomy? It is a branch of science which deals with the identification of the organisms. Nomenclature means naming of the organisms according to scientific methods, and classification, categorization of the organisms based on their closely related characteristic features. This is called as taxonomy, and Carolus Linnaeus is honored as father of taxonomy. He wrote the books called Systemae Naturae and Species Plantarum. The books written by Carolus Linnaeus is Systemae Naturae and Species Plantarum. Here Gaspard Bohin proposed a system called binomial nomenclature. This binomial nomenclature system was flourished by Carolus Linnaeus. So this binomial nomenclature was flourished by Carolus Linnaeus. What is binomial nomenclature? Bi means two. Nomial means naming. Nomenclature, it is a method. So according to this binomial nomenclature, each and every organism has two names. According to the binomial nomenclature, each and every organism has two names. The first name is called as a genus name or generic name. And then the second name is called as a species or specific name. You have to remember this one. These two names you have to remember. So simply you will get the question. Which of the following names are present in binomial nomenclature? Simply binomial nomenclature contains genus and species. Then what is genus? What is kingdom is divided into division. Division into phylum. Phylum into class. Class into order. Order into family. Family into genus. Genus into species. Genus into species. Here, the kingdom, it is the highest taxon of classification. Highest, or it is the largest taxon of classification. You have to remember this one. And species, it is the lowest taxon or fundamental taxon of classification. Fundamental or basic taxon or basic unit of classification. Here this is the hierarchical position you have to remember. So kingdom is the highest taxon of classification, then division, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. In exam matter we have to remember kingdom is the highest taxon or largest taxon of classification. Species is the basic or fundamental or lowest taxon of classification. Then you have to remember what is species. What is species? The group of closely related organisms which can undergo interbreeding. The group of closely related organisms which can undergo sexual reproduction are called as a species. Say for example, if we consider the scientific name of human beings, it is Homo sapiens. The scientific name of human beings is Homo sapiens. Here Homo represents the genus. Whereas sapiens represents the species. Means, suppose if you consider the scientific name of modern man, that is Homo sapien. Here sapien means most intelligent, civilized. All the human beings in this universe, they are similar. They belong to one particular species, one particular category. The habitat of all the characteristic features of all the human beings in this universe are similar. They belong to one category called as sapiens. If you consider the scientific name of our ancestor man, that is Homo erectus. So our genus is same, but the species are different. That means the Homo erectus differs from Homo sapien. There is slight anatomical changes. Okay, So that means the Homo erectus were having a protruded lower jaw, undeveloped skull. So all these are the differences. So here, just you have to remember what is binomial nomenclature. According to this binomial nomenclature, each and every organism has two names. The first name is called as genus name or generic name. The second name is called as a species name or specific name. Here species is the fundamental unit, basic unit or lower unit of classification. What is species? The group of closely related organisms which can undergo interbreeding, which can undergo sexual reproduction. They belongs to one particular species. And these species, the organisms of the species, they differ with some characteristic features, but they have some, they share a common character. So these two categories of organisms, they share, as they are sharing a common character, they belong to one particular genus. Say for example, Homo sapien and Homo erectus. The species are different, the genus is same. And in similar manner, if we consider the scientific name of tiger, that is Panthera tigris. Scientific name of lion is Panthera leo. Here, the genus Panthera is same, but the species is different. So these organisms differs in some characteristic features. They have some, that means they share a common character. Those organisms which shares a common character comes under a single umbrella. They belongs to one particular genus. Okay. So like that, there are various types of scientific, that is binomial, various names have been given according to this binomial nomenclature. So here the scientific name of human beings is Homo sapien. Whereas the scientific name of national bird of India, that is peacock, it is Pavo cristatus. Pavo cristatus. National animal of India, that is tiger, it is Panthera tigris. Panthera tigris. National flower of India, that is lotus. Its scientific name is Nelumbo nucifera. Nelumbo nucifera. Whereas national tree of India, that is banyan tree. Banyan. Its scientific name is Ficus bengalensis. Ficus bengalensis. And national fruit of India, that is mango. Its scientific name is Mangifera indica. Mangifera indica. So here, according to this binomial nomenclature, each and every organism can be named. So these are some important examples of scientific names. Scientific name of human beings is Homo sapien. So scientific name of Indian national bird is peacock, that is Pavo cristatus. Indian national animal, tiger, Panthera tigris. Indian national tree, that is banyan, Ficus bengalensis. National flower of India, that is lotus, Nelumbo nucifera. And national fruit is mango, that is Mangifera indica. In a similar manner, the other organisms also given scientific names according to this binomial nomenclature. Say for example, rice, Oryza sativa, wheat, Triticum aestivum, Triticum monococcum or Triticum dicoccum, maize, Gia maize, banana, Musa paradisica, teak, Tectona grandis, elephant, Laxodonta africana. Like that, each and every organism has given names according to this scientific method, according to this binomial nomenclature method, according to this binomial nomenclature method. Suppose if both the genus and species names are similar in this binomial nomenclature, then it is called tautonymy. You have to remember this terminology, tautonymy. Tautonymy means if both the genus and species names are same in the binomial nomenclature, then it is called tautonymy. Say for example, NASA, it is cobra. So this one NASA represents genus, another NASA represents species. And axis, it is a spotted deer. Here in exam point of view, you have to remember. So here the largest unit of classification is kingdom, and the smallest unit of classification is species. The term species was introduced by John Ray. The term species was introduced by John Ray. Bye.